shadows lurking deep, a light begins to burst. All eyes will stumble down, for truth redeems us first. God's light, it shines so bright, no darkness can conceal. His love is pure and true, His grace we deeply feel. With hate will never rise, but love will lead the way. In every heart a flame, God's light will ever stay. Unconditional love pouring from above. In every broken heart His touch.
So, figure this out here. Okay, there we go. And please bear with me. Minor difficulties again. Jeez Louise. Okay. And then, of course, the kitten alarm went off. Who did that? Who did it? Who turned on the kitten alarm? So, HP stream can't even stream from a browser. Ain't that just fun? So, greetings, hello, howdy, everybody. Whether on Rumble, YouTube, feel free to say hello. Trying to see if I can't figure out what's up with this kitty alarm. In the meantime, let's have some fun with music.
Underneath the moon's cold glow, dirty hands move where shadows grow. They call it duty, but it's a game. Breaking hearts, leaving families maimed. Cloak of darkness, a silent theft. A home once whole, now bereft. Truth buried deep, hidden from view. The gavel strikes, justice untrue. Who's watching the watcher when they turn blind? who's guarding the laws that twist and bind. The scales are tilted, the balance betrayed. In the court of whispers, the innocent paid. A paper shield, a judge's guise. Behind the bench, deception lies. Eyes that see but choose to stray, turning the law into a masquerade. They rewrite the rules with a knowing grin. Where justice ends, corruption begins. Families broken, torn apart. No mercy shown, no beating heart. Silver ace creeps with quiet tread, stealing dreams from a child's bed. You claim it's right, you claim it's fair, but in their hands, love's stripped bare.
Okay, hopefully everybody can hear me now. Although, not sure if anybody's here or not. If you're here, say hello. Hi. Hi, howdy. Howdy doody. There we go. That's a little better. Let's see. Oops. Trying to do what I can to make things a little better here. Doesn't always work out. All you can do is try. And anybody saying hello. There's something else in there. It just goes to show how screwed up the system is. Got the Dr. Pepper. Already drank my coffee. Let's hang out. Let's talk. Let's talk turkey, ham, chicken, turducken. So, what did it come on too early or too late? either way, there's a reason why how children get lost in the system and how corrupt the system is with DFPS or DCFS or whatever initials they want to call themselves, CPS, CPI. When, especially here in Texas, oh my goodness, it is flabbergasting. Last night I mentioned some things that were mentioned in court, but why is it that any other state, any other court, if they're going to serve you files, it's from a court server? And why is it occasionally, not always, when CPS CPI goes to submit something to the court, it is submitted through basically a community college website here in the state of Texas, like Tyler Tech EDU or something is the server that it's hosted on, or that it kicks out of, which doesn't make sense. And then on top of that, well, tell you what, we'll see if we can get some more people to show up first, and then I'll bring it up. Just a moment for your listening pleasure.
Justice, they don't hear our calls. Darkness shields their crime. Families shattered in the dead of time. Rules rewritten, hearts torn apart. The lies they tell, a master's art. Dirty hands pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos. Justice, they don't hear our calls. Courtrooms echo with twisted games. Judges blind to the fire and flames. The laws they twist, the lives they break. All for control, all for their sake. They scribble verdicts on crumpled dreams, silence the cries that burst at the seams. Who will stand, who will fight when justice falls into the night?
Okay. That you know what was said, not said. All right. Needless to say, I got an email today that was supposed to, basically, because I've switched attorneys once, I got put into the notification system. And as mentioned yesterday, I'm in the process of attempting another attorney. But let's just say that, well, not, let's just say what happened was I got an email notification that there was something submitted allegedly in my case. I do like what I've done before, log in, download it, open it, my case, the case number for my daughter and our family, for what we're dealing with in the family court, but not our case. Everything after that had nothing to do with us. This goes to show the utter and complete incompetency that they can't, and then they wonder how they lose over 4,000 kids in the system if they can't even put the right paperwork with the right docket and the right case. And and there's even a ton of errors, and I mean, just scurrying through it. I mean, heck, people can't spell their own names correctly, and I'll just say I don't know how a 1 year old can still be 1 year old if they were born in the year 2019. But from an agency that is used to lying and getting their way, they'll say and do anything. Because the judges will just roll over and do what they say, not follow the law. So, yeah. Hello, EMS. Sorry, I had the wrong thing up. I set it up on the music thing. And I didn't have the overlay turned on. There we go. Sorry, back on so I can. Oh, so I can see there. But Yeah, and they think they're right, everyone else is wrong. And the thing is, I shouldn't be seeing someone else's case, really, not in family court, but it just goes to show that the incompetency is bad. uh, so, and that's another thing that has me confused about all of it is that family court, or just like any courts, you have your state, and then you have counties, and then counties break down into districts. Well, districts are usually geographical to help maintain a little bit of order, a little bit of order in the chaos. I mean, just like you got fire districts and you got precincts for constables that cover certain areas. Uh, you know, even the police department and fire and EMS. Well, EMS tends to work across the EMS for emergency medical services tends to work across district lines, but you break districts down geographical. It's like my ham radio call sign 7. That's associated with the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and like say Texas. I think it's like Texas and Louisiana, maybe Arkansas are 5s in their call signs that are issued in the beginning when you fly ham license. Things are broken up by district, even in family court. But yet, the primary judge we've been seeing is listed as one district. The associate judge they've been playing playing bouncy ball with us is a different district. Is supposedly in charge of a different district, and yeah, and then of course this other thing that came in is even a different district. So yeah, ain't it just a bowl of Fruit Loops? And yes, I've been concerned because even when they know they've been recorded and it's not a he said she said anymore, they can't get away with this stuff. We'll see. Well, that's another thing. I've learned the FEMA stuff, and that yeah, you break down into divisions. But this actually says district. District implies geographical borders. Division is like you know the family court division versus the civil court division versus criminal court division. But it is what it ain't. because I mean it literally says when you log into their Zooms, or when I was allowed to, you know this person is with this district, this judge is with that, the associate judge is with this district, the judge is with that district, and yeah. For example, the judge is with a two number a district that's in only has two digits, and the associate judge has a three-digit district, and this other paperwork was for a different three-digit district, way off, way different. I mean, if AI was the one submitting it and suggesting which case it was supposed to be attached to, AI did a bad job because yeah, there's a couple of different, like say, it's yeah, kind of like what I mentioned with us for what's going on here versus what's going on in Florida. That if you take individual facts and individual little things, stripper, degenerative disc disease, uh, ordained minister, true Christians, legal battles, this, that, and the other, and put it in a top hat and shake them around, and then start applying them. Yeah, you get the mixed salad of kind of us over here, but and that's kind of basically what this document was. There was a couple of things that were like that if you took out just a small little thing, it could apply to one individual, not the one, in our case, you take out the first name. Well, let's say, for example, one of the people's attorneys on this other document that was submitted, their first name matches a CPS worker in our case. Their last name matches my former attorney. And the month and day of the birth date of the child, in that case, is the same month and day as my wife's birthday. So literally, like if AI was just trying to randomly assign or find that other case, yeah, or somebody screwed up, and yeah, our case isn't a real case, and but they've been going through it. Now, somebody's case isn't the real case. Because they did skip a few steps in our case. So, or the alternative is they were getting ready to do some copy pasting from that other case to try to sit there and use in our case, and didn't save it correctly, and and that's why I had the wrong case number at the top. Either either reason don't look good for the agency. But are they going to be held accountable? Heck no. Nobody holds them accountable because they're above the law. They are the law. They are the Constitution. They are the law. You tell them no, they're going to come after you and do everything they can to mess you over. Because God forbid you hold them accountable and tell them, no, you need this, this, and this to do because you are a government agency. Oh, but we're not cops. You're behaving like them. So we don't have to, yeah. Mm-hmm. have the right. CPS is able to violate people's Fourth Amendment rights to legal search and seizure. They can search your home, they can search your belongings, and they can seize you into their system and or your child. But yet they have no law enforcement powers in general. I mean, they do. Sometimes they have a department that has those abilities, but but the regular workers do not. They are licensed clinical social workers, LCSWs, usually with a degree from UC Berkeley or some other liberal arts college. And if all of a sudden I get attacked by the agency because, oh, they did go to UC Berkeley, then I put it a nail right on the head. I'm just, speaking generalities, but it's generalities that hold true in more cases than you think. So, how are you and your family and them doing their EMS? Like I said, this is more about kicking it, not so much about that little oopsie that they pulled. There could be a bit of a delay. Anybody else here? Please feel free to say hello. Which part's a huge mistake? The oopsie of the wrong court documents, or the wrong filing, and the wrong folder, basically, to the wrong people. I mean, you've seen some of that stuff over there with the LMNOP drama. There's been some similar things that have happened there where wrong case numbers or wrong, whatever, wrong court case numbers were attempted to misfile and whatnot. So mistakes do happen, but usually not by the government agency. Well, actually, they tend to make more mistakes than they think they make, anyways. But they usually have people double check that stuff. In fact, if you look at, in general, this is what happens: is you look at the name of it. I can't show it because that would be invading someone else, another family's privacy, and I'm not going to do that. But looking at who signed the document, basically saying that everything above was truthful and correct, and versus the person who submitted it into the system, are two different people. What do you know? I was able to disarm the kitten alarm. Cool. They're quiet now. But thought I'd come over here, hang out for a bit, and then afterwards do the ministry stream. Okay, I know what BRB is. Be right back. BRG, I don't know. Bird? A big Reader's Digest? Alright. Is there anyone else here? Hello. Say hello. You're welcome to talk. We're just chillaxing now. Nice to relax, chillax. Want to take a moment and play catch up. Catch up, not ketchup. That's a red tomato substance. Uh, so, people are gathering their thoughts.
Shadows creeping in the dead of night. Whispers spreading with their poison bite. Rumors fly like arrows from the dark. But faith ignites the fire, lights the spark. Prayer warriors rise, lifting hearts to the sky, breaking the strongholds as the demons fly. Angels in armor with a holy flame, victorious in Jehovah's name. The battlefield shakes, but we will stand tall. A mighty fortress stronger than them all. Truth is our sword and love is our shield. Hope is the banner that we boldly wield. Prayer warriors rise, lifting hearts to the sky, breaking the strongholds as the demons fly. Angels in armor with a holy flame, victorious in Jehovah's name. Chains are breaking in the darkest fight. Faith will shatter every lie in sight. Skies are blazing with celestial sound. For in His grace the lost are found.
Hello to anybody new watching.
Victorious in Jehovah's name.
Welcome, Sakura. Is that right? Always up for meeting new people over here on the stream. Might I ask where thou hails from? Okay, brief phone call there with the better half. Whoops. We don't want that. Okay. Just reminding me to do something. No worries, EMS. You didn't miss much. Other than someone new here. I think they just came in, said hello, and left. Darn it. But these are meant to be conversational time, so, that's the reason for the campfire image. Just kick back, relax, talk, hang out. You got questions, we got answers. I'm not Radio Shack. uh, problem is that with them, I think there were too many questions, not enough answers. And I don't know. I'm not sure how to fix that. I mean, I'm not seeing much of a delay, but yeah, maybe something on Rumble or YouTube's end. There's always going to be some delay, and I'm using an HP stream that doesn't like to stream. And I haven't locked down my chat or anything, so I've yet to start finding my own personal trolls. Uh, I mean, part of it could be how I'm streaming. Let's see. See what my current Starlink numbers are. Uh, I mean, at least it's more or less 45 seconds better than 2 to 3 minutes. But yeah, where I'm at can be congested sometimes, and but at least I'm staying solid. I'm not constantly dropping out and back in, other than technical difficulties of a computer and not the internet connection issue I was getting with Verizon. Yeah, I think right now it's yeah the numbers I'm seeing off the Star doing a speed test on Starlink through their app. That 40 millisecond ping, but yeah, the numbers are kind of low at the moment. But then again, a lot of people, especially the download speeds, upload speeds aren't too bad. So not too many people are streaming around here, but a lot of people are. Yeah, well, it's 10:30 on a weeknight. Yeah, a lot of people are probably enjoying some movies on the different platforms. So because it's considered a congested area, and since I'm on unlimited roaming, I'm not as high priority as residential or business. So, but the numbers I'm looking at are still way better than I was getting with Verizon. Verizon Jetpack on 4G or using my cell phone for 5G and 5G ultra wideband. Yeah, I was lucky if I was getting 3 megabits in either direction for a brief second. And since I ended up with a standard kit instead of the mini, uh, yeah, I do get better speeds because of the bigger dish in general. Let's see. Speaking of which, average power draw for the last 15 minutes is 40 watts. It's gotten up to 70, but current power draw is 35 watts. So, not too bad. That's basically the high end of the mini with snow melt on. So, if it wasn't for other things that happened, I could have had a Starlink sooner. I haven't been on my Discord to see if he's messaged me there or not, but he's also in France and probably asleep right now. Probably catching up on his sleep. I hope, and is asleep right now. Um, he's basically similar time zone as our friend Spawn Trooper. So, which is right there at the Greenwich Mean or UTC, whatever you want to refer to it. Ugh. Anybody else here, please feel free, Rumble or YouTube. Speak up, say hello, like, subscribe, don't dislike, thumbs down, thumbs up. I saw that last night, EMS. I saw the discussion there. But out of respect, that's just out of respect with keeping his life his life. If he wants to get on the stream and talk about it, that's on him. Not my place. Just like it wouldn't be my place to talk about, you know, your personal family business or anything like that. So, or whose friend, who's passed away. I mean, this that's probably why I'm able to keep a lot of trolls and not get sucked into a lot of drama. I mean, it's one thing over on my ministry side, if I'm doing a prayer or something like that. But as far as or if it's in a discussion, you know, but you know, I don't just, especially if you're not present, I'm not gonna talk behind anybody's back, good or bad. So I prefer if I got something to say, I'll do my best to say it to your face. Oh, I understand you're worried. But but as far as but meanwhile, Ulax has started to become a regular here on my in my chats when I do stream live stream. This is the first time in a long time I've streamed a couple days in a row. So you know, people have but this is also why I have my Discord server. Link is in the channel bio, basically, if you want to call it that, the channel about. Um, for those that want to know, is to be able to have discussions outside of streaming. That could also be more private if need be. So, what do you think of the new graphics? Some of the new graphics. Let's see here. I'll go through it. Here's some new ones because, well, one because the other ones were stored on a different computer that's temporarily down. We'll just go through the list and show. Give it a couple and then I'll switch again. Now I've got some courtroom ones. Oh, you're talking about the background. Eh, working on all that. That's just part of the free stuff from Restream. There's a nice gloomy one with the courtroom. We'll go talking about that stuff again. There's a fun little T-shirt one coming up here. That one is totally. That one just totally makes me think T-shirts. Uh, I know chat's behind a little bit, so one with an American flag. And this is what I'm trying to do from a touchpad, I tell you. And then back to where we were. Okay, what did I do? Just break it? Let's try that again. I think I broke it. That's right. There we go. Uh, so ookily dookily hinkily pookily. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Oops. There. He thinks he's breaking things. Uh, no, not broken yet. But yeah, we had an hour. Anybody else here? Feel free to chime in. Let's hang out, talk. Hope you brought your marshmallows or your popcorn. Although that was earlier. Me, I got my Dr. Pepper. If we don't find humor in things, what's the point? Yeah, sometimes who needs a soundboard if you're humorous enough on your own, you don't need a soundboard. Yeah, I never quite cared too much for Seven Up, although for women, when they do bring it out, that Seven Up cranberry combination, my wife seems to love. It helps with certain issues, allegedly. Um, but yeah, I see Seven Up, and because I grew up in the '80s, I remember the Challenger incident, and remember the joke that came up with that. I believe it was Challenger. Which is why I like a lot of what SpaceX is doing. Things are smart enough now. They can do a lot of stuff without having to have anybody on board. So therefore, if something goes boom or catches fire or anything else, you know, it's hopefully no lives lost. Now, one of the worst drinks, not, but and happened to be my mother's favorite drink, was Squirt. But she usually combined it with the Seagram 7. I don't know. That must have been a California thing or something. Well, yeah, because if you don't take a situation like that and at least try to create some humor, you know, because it was a tragedy. Uh, I, I was basically elementary school when it happened. I remember right, early '80s. You gotta love autocorrect. Uh, back a couple of years probably. But if you were in high school, '86, yes, '86 put me in middle school, so '86 I would have been 10. Well, some people need autocorrect. If it wasn't for autocorrect, I wouldn't be able. Half the time, I wouldn't be able to read my wife's text messages. And the other half, she's trained to autocorrect, not correct. It autocorrects the fun stuff. Anyone else here? Say hello. Welcome. Howdy, howdy. Well, hello. Oh, hello, governor. Uh, I'm sorry, I do not speak Wookiee. I do not speak Furby. I do not speak. I don't even understand them. Yeah, I do not speak Klingon either. Although I did try to use Duolingo to learn Klingon, didn't get very far. Ah, you're a Mayflower. I'm just an April shower, and I was almost an April Fool baby. Let's just hmm. At my egg pay. Yeah. No, you're Taurus the bull. So is my mother because she was born at the end of April. So well, so far things are behaving over here. Uh, Actually, no. If you think about it, um, if you really think about it, seasons times uh, Israel is, in, you know, Jerusalem, Bethlehem are similarly situated with, like, say, Texas, Oklahoma, on latitude, or we'll see, what, yeah, away from the equator. And personally, I believe it was more his Christ's actual birthday when he was born would have probably been more August, September, October timeframe. Right there during harvest season, because you have sheep out. Uh, if you look at the stories around, you know, the three wise men from the east and all that, but especially taxes and whatnot, it would have, because And then as he started to get a little bit older, oh, I believe I could be wrong because I don't have it in front of me. Simeon, the old priest at the temple, who had asked not to not to pass away until he had met the Messiah. Uh, Under Jewish traditions and things like that, when he would have seen him and whatnot would have been, yeah. If you look at the story, yes, I do pay attention to the King James version and suggest that, it puts it all. I think it puts his birth more into the fall harvest time frame. The celebration of Christmas was a Catholic accommodation to those that came over from other religions. Which is why a lot of churches nowadays have trunk or treats and still do Easter egg hunts and things like that. They're from other religions around the Mediterranean that celebrate those. If anyone else is here and we don't want to talk religion, this is come on in. We'll change the subject from here, and then I'll move religious discussion to my ministry channel and do a live over there. Uh, and the music I've been playing on my channel is my AI creations that I've paid to license for myself. So, unless I specifically state otherwise, that I'm using restreams. Yes, it's almost 11 p.m. here. It's 11 p.m. here. Let's take a moment. We're at a 15-minute mark here, so 1 hour and 15 minutes. Take a moment and have some music.
In silence waits my soul today. From rock so strong I will not sway. Salvation rests in Him alone. In Him my fortress I have grown. How long will forces break me down, like leaning walls to hit the ground? Deceit and lies my enemies spin. In God my hope will never thin. Trust in Him at all times still. Pour your
Okay. Shall we continue to chitty chat? Let's just try not to restart the kitten alarm. We'll be good. Uh, Sometimes people show up here once I've been streaming an hour. Is anybody new here? Go ahead and speak up. Sorry to hear that, EMS. Uh, Trust me, I know all too well regarding the back pain. That's what people don't. Some people didn't realize regarding those recording. Well, the 3-part breakdown, because I couldn't. Still having difficulty uploading it all as one file for some weird reason. Some people thought maybe I was drunk or high or on meds or something, and believe it or not, no, I was in pain, couldn't breathe, and on 0 meds. But yet, I've had plenty of practice learning how to try to keep a phone/camera stable. That's why it was in the vertical position, in the portrait position and not the landscape position, just because easier to control the device. Oh yeah, just between the vertigo, the lymphatic edema, the COPD, the stress of the situation. Yeah, I don't think anyone with my medical conditions would have been able to do any better, even if they were medicated. And I tried to reach out. Oh, you're one of the few, EMS. You're one of the few. But, but then again, you've been around a while, since before that incident, so you've heard me on other streams, and I will say this as a friendly shout out to someone. He knows who he is. Well, I'm upset about what transpired. You did apologize. You did, in a way, apologize. You are welcome to come to my stream. I'm not. You know who you are. You are welcome to come in and attempt to rebuild what I thought was a friendship. So if you happen to see this, you know who you are. And that's what I'm going to say about that. Or you can reach out to me on Facebook for private conversation, or whatnot. If, if that person is truly meaningful in their apology and sincere. I do believe in forgiveness. Now, trust and forgetfulness, that's going to take a little bit. But I do believe in forgiveness. So that is my shout out, and they know who they are. And EMS, I believe you know who they are as well. Um, so you can relay that message if you happen to see that person. I'm going to take it one day at a time. I have many other things going on as well. So, but uh, that is my token, my offering to try to rebuild and move forward. And I said that right here around the 1 hour, 20-minute mark. So if you're in contact with them, you can relay it. If he hasn't or doesn't see it anytime soon. Uh, and my token of peace. There we go. So that being said, uh, anyone else out there? Speak now or forever hold your breath. Oh, and by the way, yes, I did see that other person over in Spawn Troopers stream, and I behaved. I didn't say anything there. I wasn't going to. Wasn't the appropriate place. I'm not going to rehash everything around that EMS. I'm just, if he is sincere, he can reach out to me. I do not believe I have him blocked. I removed as a friend, but did not block. I'm not like that. So I might have to check to see if maybe he has reached out to me and see if it's any message requests, but probably do that later. But the past is the past. We're moving forward. Can't change what's already been done. Nobody's built that time machine yet. Although you give Elon Musk enough resources, he might find a way. But unfortunately, the name Timex is already taken. So, oops. Uh, Sometimes I think I would have made an okay comedian. Yeah. Uh, what else out there? I don't know if anybody watching on replay or anything like that wants to join the membership side. I did drop something the other day into the members only section, and if you know, you know, no. And I will do a members only live. I'll do my first members only live when I have 10 members. It'll take a little bit to figure out what content that people want. I would love to be able to do more 1A auditing, but I have very limited resources and abilities to begin with. So, and yes, I'm familiar with that old saying: "Takes a licking and keeps on ticking." And then you got the old 60 minutes time clock counting down. Ooh. Play another song here. Go take a break.
Dusty roads and Texas skies. Hot sun burning in my eyes. Family struggles never die. Faith in God keep us alive. Hands worn rough from working hard. Love carried in a beaten truck. no jackpot card. Just Jesus guiding all our luck. Family fire burning bright through the darkness, through the night. Standing strong, never give up the fight. God's whispers make it right. Prayers by the old oak tree. Voices lifted wild and free. Heartache healed on bended knee. Faith in Jesus sets us free. Storms will come without a doubt. And we may scream, we may shout. Holy grace will pull us out. Faith in God, there's no way out. Family fire burning bright through the darkness, through the night. Standing strong, never give up the fight. God's whispers make it right.
Oh, gooey look. That over. Yeah, that one's over. Okay. So, that being shown, that being said, that being played, doesn't look like I'm going to gather much more interest tonight over here. And quizzes and trivia are always nice and fun, but I'll admit I'm not the greatest at them, especially anymore. But it is, unless I at some point go play trivia or something with my with not so common knowledge. All right, well, you have a nice night. If you don't come over to the other stream, I totally understand. And heck, last check it only had 12 subs. Not too many people are into the faith aspect of life. But yeah, so can't exactly redirect. It'd be kind of difficult to redirect to myself. when I haven't even scheduled it yet. So, 'cause I didn't know how long this would last. Over here. Hoping to drum up some interest. So, if anyone wants to continue, follow me and we'll discuss more faith side of things. I'll probably just do some Bible reading and then discussion. That's on my Servant Spirit Ministries channel at Servant Spirit on YouTube. And I'll meet you over there, meet people over there if they want to come over there. Shalom. Peace unto you all.
We gathered round the campfire's glow. Stars dance high where the warm winds blow. Sweet tea in a mason jar, thick as a stone. Laughter floats like smoke, we're never alone. Dr. Pepper fizzing light hits the glass. Coffee brewing slow, time here seems to pass. Hot cocoa whispers tales to the night. Stories of the road where everything feels right. Kicking back with friends, no worries in sight. KD7 LTN by the radio's light. With amateur radio, we share our land, holding on to moments as embers turn to sand. Eric tunes the dial, finds a friendly voice. Static crackles softly in the quiet, we rejoice. Talking about the little things, living day by day. Simple countryside where we'd rather stay. Cedar smoke mixes with the midnight dew. There's magic in the air in everything we do. Peggy tells a story about the mountains far. Just another chapter neath this familiar star. Kicking back with friends, no worries in sight. KD7 LTN by the radio's light. With amateur radio, we share our land, holding on to moments as embers turn to sand. We gathered round the campfire's glow. Stars dance high where the warm winds blow. Sweet tea in a mason jar, thick as a stone. laughter floats like smoke. We're never alone. Dr. Pepper fizzing light hits the glass. Coffee brewing slow, time here seems to pass. Hot cocoa whispers tales to the night, stories of the road where everything feels right. Kicking back with friends, no worries in sight. 87 LTN by the radio's light. With amateur radio, we share our land, holding on to moments as embers turn to sand.